Today I'm going to be installing a full Torqeedo motor system on this brand new Jackson big rig. Y'all stick around. All right guys, welcome back to the channel, and if you're new here, my name's TJ. Welcome to Kayak USA. Today we are back in the garage and we are working on the Bucks Island build. If you don't know what that is, go check out my last video on this kayak. I believe I'll link it right here, and I'll also link it in the video description below. We are doing a full build for a local marina called Bucks Island. They're located in Southside, Alabama. We're going to be building this boat for their showroom floor. We're going to put as much stuff on it as we can, and then they're going to sell it to someone. So there's a whole lot of more details into it. If you want to go check out the other video, go check it out and then come back to this one. But today's video is going to be the very first mod that we're doing on this boat. So the first thing they wanted me to do, and they sent me the Torqeedo motor. I talked about it in the last video. Today's video is going to be the full install. We're going to mount this thing on the back of the boat. We're going to run all the wires, run the control panel, get it mounted next to the seat so this thing is completely operational, so we can go test it out in the water and see how good it pushes this big old boat. So let's go over to the bench and I'll show you everything that they sent me for this build, and then we'll get started in the install. All right, so this is everything that Bucks Island sent me for this Torqeedo motor install. I'll start right here with the motor. Of course, they sent me the 403 motor. If you're familiar with my channel, you know that I've been running the Bixby motor. This will be the very first Torqeedo motor install that I've ever done. So the 403, I did some research, is the smallest of the motors that they make, and they've got a couple of different sizes above this, but it's still supposed to be able to push this kayak 5 to 5.5 miles an hour, so that'll be a plus. So they sent the motor over. They sent the battery box, of course. They sent the charger for the battery pack and all of the mounting hardware and the cords. Now, what is really neat, there's several things I want to touch on before we install this, but what is really cool about this Torqeedo motor is you have a pull cord that when you pull the cord, it actually locks the motor in place so that when you go into reverse, it doesn't kick up out of the water. But when you release the cord, it makes it where the motor is free again. So if you hit a log going forward, it'll just kick up over the log, you know, the rock or whatever, and it protects the motor and the shaft from any damage from hitting anything. So that's pretty neat. So they sent the mounting brackets, the mounting hardware. Now, they sent this bracket that is specific for this boat. So it is literally just going to be a plug and play. It's going to take 4 bolts. It's going to go straight to the back of this big rig. I don't know a whole lot about this plate. I don't know if this is a universal one that'll fit different kayaks. You just have to look into that for yourself if you're interested in doing this Torqeedo install. I know that this one fits the Jackson big rig perfectly, and that's why they picked it out and sent it to me. They also sent me this Yak-Attack. This is for the throttle control. I don't even really know what they call this. I know it's a Yak-Attack. It's like a throttle control mount. It goes beside the seat. It's got a quick disconnect. I've already got the other half in the track system. All this does is just pop right on the little quick disconnect there. And what mounts here is the throttle. Now, I love this throttle. I think it's gonna be great once I get on the water because it is a lot like my bass boat. You push forward to go forward. You pull backward to go in reverse. It's got a full LED screen on it. It tells you your battery life. I think it tells you your speed, you know, how fast you're going. And it's got a kill switch. It's a magnetic kill switch. You just clip it to you. Basically just like a bass boat, you clip this to you once you get in the kayak, and if you're running wide open, something happens and you fall out, it pulls off and it kills the motor. Really good safety feature. I like that a lot. And it's a lot like a bass boat. I really like that, especially when you're incorporated it with this mount. You know, this is going to mount just like a bass boat throttle would be right beside you. So that's going to be really cool. And that's everything. This should be a quick and easy install. So let's back this boat up. I'll get everything set up and we'll start mounting this thing up. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is mount this rear plate. And like I said, there's 4 tapped holes already in the back, and looks like they're brass. And the hardware comes with the mount for mounting it straight to the back of the kayak. Another cool design idea about this is being able to take the motor on and off whenever you're hauling the kayak. The way I do the Bixby, you know, I have to take just the motor head off, so I'm still stuck with the pole, you know, off the back of the boat. So the whole thing sticks off and all I remove is just the actual motor head. This thing we're gonna be able to drop and pull out just by a turn of a knob. I'll show you what I mean here. So this is just gonna drop right into here like this. Just like that. And then you got a turn handle where you tighten it up and fold it over. Don't go too tight before you fold it. There we go. So here's what I mean about the motor being able to kick up. So is that in frame for you guys? Let's see, back it up. There we go. So the cord, of course, is gonna run up to the battery box. But the way this works is the motor is always free to be able to move. So when you're in forward thrust, it's actually gonna be pushing down on the pin so you don't have to worry about the motor being kicked out. But when you hit reverse, as soon as you give it throttle, it's gonna wanna kick up. So when you pull this cord right here, it locks it into position because there's a pole right through this mounting bracket that it pulls down and latches onto just like that. So that is gonna be great. Now, future videos is up to you guys on how you would like to see the steering happen with this. Today's video, we're going to mount this in its fixed position. It's got a little pinhole right here that you drop a pin into and it locks the motor in a fixed position. But if you guys wanna see me add a foot steer system to this, let me know in the comments. Just like the last video I told you, we're gonna be building this boat for you guys, for your ideas. So anything that you can think of that you want to see added to this boat in these videos, let me know in the comments below. I'll add it to the list and we'll get it done. If you want to see a foot steer system happen, if you want to see a hand steer, but for this video, we're going to lock the motor in its position because this boat, I don't know if you can see it, comes factory with a massive rudder on the back. And this motor being locked in a fixed position, we should get full turn still out of this rudder system up under it. So I'm not really worried about the steering. I really like the way it's set up beside the seats for the steering. But like I said, if you want to see foot control, we will completely put a foot control kit in this boat and steer the actual motor itself with the foot control. So let's add the battery next and get it kind of just in place where we're going to have it, and then we'll move on to the throttle control. For now, while we're in here, we're just going to set it behind just like this. I'm not really going to worry about strapping it now because when I haul the kayak, I'm going to be taking the battery out. But for now, we're just going to set it and get everything plugged up. I think we could run the wire maybe right through the crack right there. Yeah, look at that. That's good. We'll come straight up through here. And then it is just plug and play again. And just like that, the motor is installed on the back of the boat. That is so simple. Now we'll add the throttle control and we'll bolt it to this panel. So the way this works is it's just a flat base and it's the same configuration, as you can see, as the bottom of the throttle box. So there's no plate sticking off the sides. It looks really factory. It looks really good. And it's got the two holes right here. And what you do is you remove the two screws that are in the back of this and it mounts straight to it. So just need a Phillips head. If I got one over here, yeah, there's one. Set the plate right there in the back side of it, line up the holes, put the screws back in. Just like that. And now I'll pull the camera to this side and I'll show you guys exactly how it mounts. So you see right here, it's just got the little quick attach mount. Let me set all this stuff to the side. And the way it works is you just twist it just like a regular T-handle. Oh, I got the wrong, there it goes. You turn this top knob actually. And it's just like a regular T-track system. You see it just slides right into the track. So if you go with this kit on your boat and you don't have a T-track on the side of your seat, you can always just order you a Yak-Attack one like this. I've got a couple for future projects just hanging up on the wall, and they got different lengths, so you know you can get just a little short one and mount it wherever you'd like to. But luckily these big rigs already have it right here next to the seat. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mount it right here. You tighten up that knob, and then you literally just take the bottom of the mount, slide it into the position you want it. Well, if I can hold the camera and put it where I want it at the same time. Let's see. Just like that. So there's a lever right here that you have to click open, and then it goes where you want it. Let me get it a little straighter. And then you just shut it back down, locks it into position. Look how awesome that is. That is great. Right there beside the seat. I really like that a lot. And you got a couple of different, it's got like a wishbone style hinge, so you can adjust it up and down or left and right. And it's got the little grooves, so once you get it where you want it, if you want to go higher, you just do it like that, and then you can loosen this one and put it a little bit higher beside you. I probably won't like it that high. I'm probably going to go back low with it, right in here. Something like that. I like that a lot. That's going to feel really nice, being able to just go back and forth. So let's plug it up and we'll check out the LED screen, see how it looks. Mash the power button, hold it on, and you can see it kicks on. It tells you your battery percentage, and it says searching right now because it's searching for a satellite signal. So this does tell you your speed, and it's a GPS speed, so you know that the speed is accurate. Let's see, if you mash throttle forward, there it goes. It tells you, I guess it's how many hours are left. Let me make sure I can show you guys. So I think that's how many hours may be left at that speed. Yeah, because it shrinks the time the faster you go. I'm gonna pull it back up to stop, and we'll go to reverse. Man, you can hear that motor humming. I'll show you the motor in just a minute. So I guess whenever you're in drive or in reverse, this one right here says the wattage that it's pulling. This is gonna tell you your GPS speed, and this is gonna tell you about how much time you have left on the battery at that speed. So if you just go like, look at that. It says 15 hours are left on the battery if you stay at that speed the whole time. So that's really neat. I like that a lot. Let's see if I can get a shot of the motor. I'm gonna get it barely turning. And it's got some big blades. It's a lot different than the Bixby motor. Man, that thing looks good. Sounds good on the back of the boat. I'm not gonna run it out of water too much because I don't think it's good for it. But I will show you the kill switch. So we'll go full speed really quick. And then I'm gonna pull the kill switch. Boom, kills the whole battery. Pull it back up, put the kill switch back on it. All right, so now all we got left to do is I'm gonna run a cable from the back. I gotta drop the pin in. And I'll give you guys an up close of that. So the way it locks into position is you see this hole here in the mount. If I can get a good shot of it for you. That hole right there lines up with these holes. And I don't know why, but it's got them where you can put them like this too. Maybe, I guess if you have to mount the motor crooked, you can drop it in those pinholes. But what we're gonna do is drop it right in this hole here and get the pin to stick right down in that hole below it. I hope I can get a good shot on camera, but it's gonna lock this motor in position, and we're gonna steer, go rudder. And the way the steering works on these boats is on each side. As you can tell, all you do is just push and pull, just like that. And it turns that whole rudder. So that should steer this boat really good. So let's get these cables lined up and run up to the front of the boat. I'm just for now gonna lay the cables up under the seat until we figure out exactly where we're gonna put them, and we'll test them out and see how good they work. All right, I think I finally got it exactly how I want it for now. Now, this might change later on. That's why I'm leaving the pad eyes off like I explained earlier. We're gonna be adding a lot to this boat, and I don't wanna make any permanent changes that I'll regret later, especially this not being my boat. This is gonna be sold to somebody. I don't wanna drill any unnecessary holes in this boat just yet. So I'll show you exactly how, let me use this other camera. All right, I'm gonna show you guys exactly how I mounted everything. So if you look on this side, this little red ball here, when you pull the ball, if I can get a shot at the back, you see the cable pull, and this is gonna be the way the motor locks into position. So when you pull that little red ball on the left side of the seat, it engages that lock, so when we go in reverse, the motor doesn't kick straight up. This other cord comes straight off the top of this mount, and as you can see, there's two separate little eyelets right here. The left side runs to the left side of the seat. That is for the lock for the reverse. This side runs right up to the right side of the seat. And for now, I've just got a loop tied off. Now this is gonna be the thing that you pull to deploy. Let's see if I can pull it with one hand. There you go. There's really not a lot of complicated things you have to do to install one of these Torqeedos. The battery for now is just sitting in the back of the boat. We may move this once we figure out which box we're gonna build or install in the back of this. We may end up mounting this battery pack to the back of maybe an Engle box or whatever you guys can think of that you wanna see built or mounted to the back here. So this may move. For now, it's just sitting in the back. I think it's really well made. It's got some really good tie downs, so we got a lot of options there with that. That is how easy it is to install one of these Torqeedo motors. It really blew my mind. If I wasn't filming this video, I could literally have this motor on and off in probably less than 2 minutes. I mean, it's 4 bolts and literally everything else is just plug and play. Even the mount is just plug and play to the back of this kayak. Now, it may be different for other kayaks depending on which brackets they make for different kayaks, but the big rig, as you've seen, there's nothing to it. We're not gonna be able to take it out on the water today. The weather is horrible, but this weekend is supposed to be really nice, so be on the lookout for the next video where we put this boat on the water and we test it out. I wanna test it to see how fast we can get it and just see how well it maneuvers using the rudder. If you are interested in me adding the steering control, now these big rig, this is a HD FD, so this has the flex drive in the front, so we always have that option of using the pedal drive. But while we've got the Torqeedo installed on the back, it might be a good idea to add the foot steer. Now the flex drive does not come with the little foot pegs on the side, so we'll have to get those, install those, and then get the sliding track and all of that good stuff. But we can do it to this boat if it's something that you guys want to see. If you want to see steering added with your feet, just let me know in the comments below. I'll talk to Bucks Island. Of course, this is their boat. This is gonna be on their showroom floor, so it's up to you guys. You guys get to decide what we put on the boat. They supply me with the stuff and we stick it on the boat. So anything that you guys can think that you want to see added to this boat, let me know. Be on the lookout for the next video. It'll be coming up really soon. I'm gonna film it this weekend. We're gonna put this thing in the water. We're gonna take some fishing rods, some tackle with us, test out the Torqeedo and see if we can catch a few fish while we're out there. So I appreciate you guys watching and following along with this build. If you like today's video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, please hit that subscribe button. It really goes a long way to support the channel. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. Peace.